Welcome to track one at the Big O. I'm Scott Chicken.
I'm Kate Silver.
Yes, you are. Welcome to our junior game at the moment. I think there was one earlier on this track. Maybe there wasn't. There's another one going on track two. We've got the Santa Cruz Derby Gromshells versus the Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls. Groms in the middle after their warm-up, grouping up. Galaxy Girls apparently disappeared into the ether because they're not sitting on their bench. But let's run through their roster, shall we, Kate?
Yes, let's
do
so.
Let's do that.
Playing for Santa Cruz, we have 00 Mini Mayhem, 101 BZ, 15 Bonnie and Collide, 152 Mocking Jam, 19 Loose Cannon, 26 Lil Killa, 30 Swervy, 304 Ella Delaney, 44 Sorry Not Sorry, 53 Sugar Smack, 62 Tryin, 64 Roundabout, 72 Pain Jane, 80 Sunkiss, and the captain 90 Yeety. On the bench, the Santa Cruz Derby Gromshells are aided by Ima Hot Mess and Neo Scorin.
And their opponents, the Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls, skating for them, number 10, M. Norberg, number 1000, Deathino, 180, Rival E, number 19, Bantam Phantom, 21, The Iron Rabbit, 23, Afro Jamurai, 2700 is Filipina Fire, number 29, Anita Getcha, 333, Alexis of Evil, 700, Toad Jammer, 713, Nail Her Swift, 722, A. Rashid, 789 is 7 Skate 9, number 800, Bruno Scars, and your captain for this game, number 911, A Mile 8 Her. Their coaches for the game, Holly Bots, Threatening Thunder, and Tia Barazza.
So this is going to be a pretty intense game, I'd say so, Scott. So we have the number one team in the Junior Roller Derby Association female division going up against the number 2 team, that's Seattle.
Yes.
In that division.
Yeah.
And these teams have a bit of a history.
They got a bit of a history.
Yeah.
They played for the West Coast teams. We tend to play each other fairly regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's played Santa Cruz since, I can't remember when, several years ago at the Wild West Showdown when that was still a thing. And they've played at JRDA Champs a couple of times, played here at the Big O last year with Santa Cruz coming out victorious, and Santa Cruz also winning the rematch at Champs. So Santa Cruz, your defending JRDA champions. Currently ranked number 1 in the April JRDA rankings. I just checked. May hasn't been posted yet.
So,
just in case you're monitoring juniorrollerderby.org.
So we're going to expect this one to be a barn burner. On the line, we got Santa Cruz, and that's Tryin on the line, going up against Rival E for Seattle.
Yes, Galaxy Girls from Seattle traveled down to L.A. last month and ran into a couple of buzzsaw teams in Los Anarchists who are playing here, and also Jacksonville.
Yeah, those are some really highly ranked teams in the GRDA. Rival E now working at the back around the pivot line. Both of these teams putting up strong formations. Rival E almost getting out. Directional is going to send the Seattle pivot to the box.
It's Afro Jamurai heading to the box, and Tryin breaks clear. Lead jammer, Gromshells.
Tryin putting up big numbers yesterday against the Santa Cruz game against the Pixies. They won that game 320-92.
Yeah, and Tryin I didn't add them all up, but man, she was responsible for the bulk of those points.
I would say so myself. Now working on a scoring pass, coming up against a strong brace wall. Now Rival E coming out of the formation.
And number 15, Bonnie and Collide, playing last line of defense. Tryin calls off the jam.
Gets up all 4, so first blood on the board for Santa Cruz. On the line for Seattle, Bruno Scars up against Swervy. Both teams, it looks like Santa Cruz at a slight pack advantage. I'm lying. They are at the same. One blocker in the box.
Sunkissed and Afro Jamurai, it looks like, from the... Oh, Afro Jamurai's out.
Oh.
It's the joy of this track where the camera's in the way and can't see the track quite as well. So now 4-on-3 advantage for the Galaxy Girls.
Rival E pushing at the front, Swervy. And Rival E gets lead jammer for Seattle.
Yeah, it's Bruno Scars.
Oh, excuse
all right.
me. Thank you.
It's okay. they're wearing white shirts. Bruno almost, but not able to.
Oh, she might have. Oh, no.
No. There is the cut. I'm like, I think I saw that foot go out before the jump.
So this is going to be a 2-minute jam. Swervy gets through on her initial pass. Let's see what Santa Cruz is able to do with this power jam.
Santa Cruz setting up in the passive-aggressive formation, and here comes the sweep. Just a little. It's like a wave. There's the little wave first, and then the bigger wave comes behind it.
And I like how Santa Cruz, you can see that they have a set number of fixed power jam plays. They have some hand signaling that you see. A number of teams do have that. I've seen these very distinct formations that they have. Seattle doing a great job, though, avoiding any kind of offensive play, being able to waterfall to the front of those offensive sweeps.
Bruno Scars now out of the penalty box and re-engaging at the back, so offense limited to one skater now for Santa Cruz as we got the double bridge in the middle of the pack. Swervy still pushing and forced to the inside, rolled back.
53, Sugar Smash getting sent to the box. Let's see if Bruno Scar is able to take advantage of pack advantage, and she does. 4 more points on the board for Seattle, or 4 points period.
That's yes, first 4.
First 4.
There's 4 for Swervy as well, and we're down to a second left. So a tie jam 4-4, 8-4 Santa Cruz in the lead. That was solid defense on both sides. Nobody really getting much of an advantage.
Might be a little indicative of how this game's going to go. Strong defenses on both sides. Whoever takes advantage of those offensive sweeps is going to be the team that comes out on top here.
So we've got Naylor Swift with the star for Seattle Derby Brats and BZ jamming for the Gromshells.
BZ also being very successful yesterday in the game against the Pixies, but also running into a bit of penalty trouble. She gets out first lead jammer for Santa Cruz.
Naylor Swift bump to the out, and yes, the cut track called. Saw the run back, and I'm like, I bet that's going to get caught, and it was. 4 points for BZ and Santa Cruz as Naylor takes a seat in the penalty box.
Seattle's Naylor.
Yes, yeah. Not to be confused with the Santa Cruz, or it's a Sacramento skater of the same name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Too many Naylor Swifts.
That's all right. It's a solid name.
You just got to shake it off.
Exactly. BZ shakes it off and collects 4 points for the trouble. That doubles the Santa Cruz score for the game up to 8 total, and a nice little shoulder check to bump BZ out of bounds.
BZ tries to do a little straightaway hop, but not able to do it. They're able to cover those lines on that Santa Cruz wall. Back in the action is Naylor Swift. Tangoing there with a little killer in the front.
And BZ trying the outside line, but forced out of bounds again, and everybody rolling backwards as both jammers forced to the outside. BZ now back in and pushing to the front. Held up by the tripod.
This pass for BZ, just absolute grind here. Not finding much space in this Seattle braced wall.
No, and Naylor Swift having no luck either as has popped the star off and finally able to get her out and around with a little help from 7 skate 9. Naylor puts the star back on. BZ calls off the jam.
BZ getting 12 on that. Largest jam of the game. Seattle, if they want to have a fighting chance in this game, I think they need to make it more of a grind for Santa Cruz. And I think they're fully capable of doing so, as we just saw.
Yeah.
21 on the line. That's the Iron Rabbit going back up against Tryon.
Tryon looking to the inside. Iron Rabbit also trying inside, but stopped up, and Tryon is on the outside. Lead jammer, Santa Cruz.
Iron Rabbit, one to beat, and I believe that's Mini Mayhem, gets past her. Tryon, meanwhile, bowling over a few more for 4 points.
And Seattle held scoreless, second straight jam, third total on the on the game with just the 4 points from jam number 2.
If you have something to say to us on Twitter or Instagram, you can use hashtag BigO2019 in all your tournament posts this weekend.
Back to number 30, Swervy, with the star for Santa Cruz, and Rival E jamming for the Galaxy Girls. Swervy swerving up the outside, lead jammer.
Rival E trying to take advantage of some quick offense. Not successful though. Santa Cruz defense doing a good job shutting her down, knocking her to the inside.
Santa Cruz only 2 blockers on the track right now, and yeah, as I said, they are holding on to Rival E. Excellent 2-person teamwork.
I think if you want any 2 on the track right now, it's a little killer and Bonnie and Collide. Those 2 just forces in terms of defense.
Yes, and they get a little assist as Sugar Smacks released from the box, leaving only number 152, Mocking Jam, is standing in the box, about to be released. Rival E finally clears the pack.
Swervy gets 1 more point on that pass, bringing the Santa Cruz total up to 29. Galaxy Girls at 4.
This is similar, feels similar to the start of that game yesterday that Santa Cruz had with the Pixies, where they just locked down to start off, sort of exerting their defensive dominance and holding the jammers back, and then no huge jams. So we saw a 12-point, and everything else just 4 and 5, little runs.
BZ back on the line for Santa Cruz, up against Bruno Scars. BZ out first for lead jam. Bruno Scars not far behind her.
Yeah, Bruno able to find room this time through legally, as a direction of play penalty, it looks like, sending Toe Jammer to the penalty box for the Galaxy Girls.
Bruno hits the pack quickly.
A 0-0 jam, keeping us 29-4, 20 minutes, 44 seconds to go in the first period.
Trying back on the line, up against, that's Naylor Swift. Santa Cruz doing this far apart start. I've seen the Santa Cruz adult team do that same start as well. So learning a bit from the older league.
Yes, and Seattle Derby Brats work fairly closely with Rat City, and a lot of their new strategies are coming from Rat. And
for sure.
I've heard the skaters say, we want to go watch their All-Stars practice because they do our strategies better than we do. So,
you gotta do it. You gotta practice with who you want to be.
Tryon is the lead jammer and quickly through for 4.
Does a nice little backward skating motion. 2 in the box for Seattle. So this micro pack's gonna help Tryon put up some more points.
Yeah,
last line of defense. Oh, big hit there.
Toe Jammer with the authoritative shoulder, but Tryon still through for a second 4-point run. For a moment there, only Bantam Phantom was the only skater on the track, and they're not able to stop everybody. Not surprisingly, 4 more for Tryon.
I gotta say, good on her on not getting any kind of out-of-play penalty on that.
On toe, yes.
Yeah,
so
on toe
just
jammer.
right at the edge.
Just knowing where that is, having such a good intuition for where the end of that engagement zone is.
Yes. Naylor Swift, star in hand, forced to the ground on the outside as M. Norberg heads to the penalty box. Norberg called for the direction of play penalty.
Tryon now stuck with 2 in the front. Opts to call it off, not after scoring 4 more jams. Brings it up to 4 more points, not 4 more jams. 16 points on the jam. Santa Cruz total 45. Galaxy Girls 4 haven't scored since the second jam.
No, they haven't. We'll see if the Iron Rabbit can reverse that as she squares off with number 30, Swervy. Galaxy Girls 3 blockers on the track, 4 on the track for Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz sending Mini Mayhem forward to play offense. And Swervy living up to the name, swerving through.
Swervy doing a great job keeping herself in bounds.
Iron Rabbit also through. Swervy takes his shoulder to the ground. Calls off the jam and a 0-0 run.
Great hit there by Afro Jamurai, just leveling Swervy, not allowing any points to be scored on that jam. Rydell, experience the game-changing Solaris, the performance you demand, the comfort you've been missing.
180 Rival E, squaring up with 101 BZ. 3-on-3 in the pack. Or maybe that's 3-on-4 and I missed somebody. I missed somebody up at the front.
Rival E looking for some space, gets knocked to the outside by a little kill up. Meanwhile, BZ getting out first lead jam for Santa Cruz.
Rival E regrouping. BZ somehow keeping the feet in bounds on that outside edge.
I have no idea how she did that.
I don't either. That was very pretty.
Yeah, that was really nice.
BZ now again, impact absorbed by Sunkissed. Always good when you can like use your own blocker as kind of a cushion when you get to the pack. Like, I'll hit you hard.
Right.
We won't get the back block. It'll be fine. Out of play, legal contact called on 7 skate 9.
Rival is taking the star off.
But no one to pass it to as the pivot in the block, in the box rather, and a failure to reform, thinning out the pack for Santa Cruz, but 4 points up. BZ now with 12 total on the jam.
Rival E approaching. Oh, a little hop there by BZ. And Rival E encounters some defense on each line that she's trying. BZ keeps it going, though.
Rival's move has been to duck under, but I think that Santa Cruz has caught onto that and like lowered down just low enough to stop that motion. Finally through, however, Rival E with 4 points. First points, as you mentioned, for Galaxy Girls since jam number 2. And one more for BZ, taking her to 17 total, and Santa Cruz 62, Galaxy Girls 8.
Looks like Seattle is going to take a timeout to regroup a bit, do some yelling.
Yeah, I gotta just get that energy out.
Out with the bad energy, in with the good.
Yes. Looking at our checking on the penalty board, any skater has is 2. So that's good. Nobody's racked up 5 fouls in a jam yet.
That'd be bad to do in
that would be
15
bad.
minutes. But not unheard of.
No, not at all. Or someone in the announcer room was talking about some game where someone got 5 penalties practically in one play.
That person maybe should get some kind of an award.
Something.
I don't know if it's a good award to have,
right.
but I've been part of a game where someone has fouled out in the matter of 3 or 4 jams. I won't say who they are on stream because I still enjoy who they are as a person.
That's good. Next on the Eugene Weekly jam line, Eugene Weekly, local and vocal. Eugene Weekly jam line, we've got Bruno Scars for Seattle Derby Brats and Tryon jamming for Santa Cruz. And our hit this penalty box currently empty.
Fascinating.
Now that I've said that, it will no doubt fill up immediately.
Absolutely, that's just how this works. Bruno Scars at the front of the pack.
Pivot helmet cover appears to be on the ground for, I think that's what that is out there on the track for Santa Cruz.
I believe that's what it is.
Bruno being bounced left and right and called for the cut track. So Bruno Scars will report to the hit this penalty box power jam for Tryon and I thought that was a star pass, but no, the Santa Cruz helmet covers with the black and the blue star.
It would be an ill-advised star pass.
It would be very ill-advised.
Still open.
Little
hop there by Tryon. Seattle, this is the 3rd power jam that they have offered in this game thus far. Santa Cruz lining up for the sweep. One of the Seattle blockers preventing, but Tryon doesn't even need it. She slices through, gets all 4.
She's pushing through. 8 points total so far on the jam. This time trying bumped out of bounds, and Afro Jamurai on the roll back.
Runs right into the Santa Cruz defense, though, preventing the run back.
Nicely positioned, not a back block, because she's initiating the contact.
Trying now, not finding much room as the scrum stops it. Oh, finds some way
There's some
out
space
of
on the outside.
4 more for Santa Cruz. Those scars. Oh,
kept him in, no pass, no penalty, but completes the initial pass. And
it was Mini Mayhem trying to get that last hit.
Almost. Mini Mayhem rolling out as well. So 16 on the jam. Last 3 jams that Santa Cruz has scored, 16, 17, and 16. So we are at 78-8 with 13:30 to go in the first half.
Santa Cruz absolutely dominating in this first quarter of the game. Not here to play here.
No, they're
not messing around.
They are out of gum.
We got Toad Jammer jamming for the first time for Seattle, and it's super effective. She gets Seattle's first lead since Jam 2.
And Swervy forced out of bounds for a second time. And a cut track on Toad Jammer.
Second lead jam in this game. Second lead lost in this game for Seattle. So got to keep that lead if you want to make something of it.
Indeed, Swervy still working on the initial pass. And penalty kill working, but Santa Cruz able to break everyone free for offense now, and that gets Swervy out.
Really effective offense there by Bonding Collide and Lil Killa, who are able to effectively take out the most threatening butt and the brace.
Yeah, Lil Killa is a force to be reckoned with. Watching her play in that game against the Pixies, so many skaters thinking, I'm going to knock her down, and just did not move.
I wonder if the name is a bit of one of those ironic names, right? Because she is, by and large, the tallest person on the track.
Yeah, not little at all. 4 points up for Swervy. Had the no pass, no impact, no penalty at the front of the pack, but had already passed the skater that had the bump out. Now Swervy looking to the outside, shouldered out by Afro Jamurai. Afro working on the run back. Toe Jammer out of the penalty box and slowly pushing at the front. But again, held up by the 3-wall. 7 skate 9 trying to break things up. And Santa Cruz just absorbing the hits again all the time on defense or offense. They're just able to stay and group up.
Really good job by both teams in that last pass to prevent any full passes. Sunkiss was coming in to play some offense, but not finding much room.
Not at all. So 4-7 Santa Cruz jam win takes them to 85. Galaxy Girls 12. We're down to 11 minutes to go in the period.
We got Iron Rabbit back up against BZ.
And Iron Rabbit, nicely done. Hoppy hop down the outside lane, bunny trail or whatever. It's got to be some sort of rabbit joke we can make.
Yeah, that works. Let's go with it.
Direction of play penalty, sending BZ out. You come in back into play at an angle. You make contact, that will be a penalty. So first power jam for the Galaxy Girls, and there's 4 points up for the Iron Rabbit.
Direction of gameplay is definitely not a penalty to see many jammers
getting.
That's the one you gotta have to think about, but that's probably one you only get once as a jammer.
Right, exactly.
You're not gonna do that again.
Rabbit able to stretch the pack out, collects a second 4.
First multiple score jam here for Seattle. A little bit of offense by the Seattle pivot. Santa Cruz able to avoid it really well, though. Meanwhile, BZ re-enters play, star off.
I like everybody just shoving people into the middle of the pack. We're no longer in tripods. We're just cramming everyone into the same space. Now back to the split tripod move.
When you need to get somebody somewhere, you're gonna Toss them, throw
Just
them. It's fine.
Push them wherever they need to go.
I need you here.
BZ finally out of the pack as Filipina Fire returns from the penalty box, bringing the Galaxy Girls back to full strength. 3 points up on the last pass for the Iron Rabbit. 11 total, and that takes the Galaxy Girls to 23.
Biggest jam so far of the game for Seattle. Hit this derby gear has everything you need to get rolling, from skates to protective gear, and unmatched service for all your derby needs. Before you hit the track, hit this. Hit this also the penalty box sponsor for this weekend.
They are, and at the Eugene Weekly Jammer line, we've got Naylor Swift and Tryon now pushing forward almost to the pivot line. Finds room on the outside, is lead jammer, but forced out of bounds. Naylor Swift forced to the infield and rolled back.
Naylor Swift now able to take advantage of some quick offense. Meanwhile, Tryon getting knocked to the inside by Afro Jamurai, calls it off, able to score 3 points on that pass.
Down to the 8-minute mark in the first period. Rival E back out for the Galaxy Girls. The Gromshells sending number 30, Swervy.
Seattle at a 4-3 pack advantage. They're pulling that Denver strategy we saw last night, lining up outside of the track and waiting for the 5 seconds to call. And a cut getting called on Rival E. Mini Mayhem hopping up and down saying, I drew the cut.
Yeah, that was quite the energetic jump. I also saw an outside back signaling a back block, and now I see a double coming in on that as well. So I think Filipina Fire going to be sitting for a minute as Swervy is clear lead jammer.
Contrary to popular opinion, the harder you jump claiming that you drew the cut doesn't make the official more likely to call it.
No. That is true. But in that case, it worked.
It's something.
Swervy sliding through Deathina with the low block penalty. 4 points up for Swervy.
Santa Cruz lighting up into... Ooh, with a big jump there.
That was, nice. It landed sort of the knee slide.
Yeah, as long as it's
soccer
all in,
style.
You can land wherever.
Rival E tied up and hipped again, and again with the no pass, no penalty. But for Santa Cruz, those hits and knockouts, knocking her down and allowing the rest of the pack to catch up. And Rival E rolled back again as Swervy sitting on 12 points. Lil Killa now heading to the penalty box, and there's the fourth 4-point pass for Swervy.
Mini Mayhem going at it again. I mean, not the prettiest thing if you have to completely demolish the jammer to recycle.
And Swervy called on the back block as we're down to 6 seconds left in the jam, and Rival E finally out of the pack. Galaxy Girls full strength, Santa Cruz one shy. Time runs out on the jam before Rival E can get back, and 1 more point up for Swervy prior to the penalty. That takes Santa Cruz over the 100-point mark, 105, Galaxy Girls 23.
5.5 minutes left in gameplay. Chicks and Bowls is online. Visit cibcrew.com and use the sale code Big O Yeah, all one word, for 10% off hardware such as slide blocks and wheels. Active until the end of the Big O weekend.
Big O Yeah!
Big O Yeah!
The Iron Rabbit on the power start for the Galaxy Girls. Lil Killa released from the penalty box just in time to get in Iron Rabbit's way, which I think Rabbit was hoping wouldn't happen, but it did. But Iron Rabbit able to hop through the pack, grabs lead jammer.
This is 2 lead jams in a row for Iron Rabbit.
And Swervy released will be entering the screen in a moment, or there she is, as the Iron Rabbit dinks to the outside, but not able to get through as the door closes. Swervy forced out by Afro Jamurai and rolling back.
My friend Jamurai able to get back there with the quickness and reform to her pack pretty effectively.
Iron Rabbit bumped out, thought about rolling back in, then saw the run back. And jumping back in as Bonnie and Collide, super aware of where were the feet, who went out, who didn't. Rabbit forced out to the outside again. Swervy on the sled at the front. Direction of play called, sends Bantam Phantom to the penalty box. So now 2-on-1 at the front. Let's make that 1-on-1, and then we'll have 0-on-1 as all the blockers at the front of the pack are sent to the box.
Swervy kind of shrugs and goes, I guess they're all gone now.
They're out of my way now, and the Iron Rabbit's going to call off the jam. 7 skate 9. A must skate, I think, in this next jam as she was waved off from the box. So Seattle will start with 2 blockers on the track and Bruno Scars with the star. Santa Cruz all 4 blockers and BZ jamming.
Santa Cruz starting at the top, hoping to corral the blockers here from Seattle.
That's an interesting move where Deathina thrown into the way. Could not get in the way the second time, and that gets a lead jammer for BZ.
Mini Mayhem taking a trip to the box now. BZ gets by on 1 skate. Gets all 4. Bruno Scars
Also
getting through for
nice.
4 as well.
And now Santa Cruz shedding a blocker to the track as Bantam Phantom and Deathina joined by Afro Jamurai. Now it's 3-on-2 for the Galaxy Girls, and they force BZ to the infield. It's just a series of in and out of the box for both teams on this pass. BZ finally out with the second 4-point pass. Bruno Scars out with 4 as well.
BZ probably running it long, I'm guessing, so they can spring folks from the box. So the box is, yes,
Lean
it is
over and
completely
look.
cleared. The box is behind our monitors. So
Yeah, we don't have a we need a penalty box cam. We should ask for that next time.
That'd be amazing.
It would be super cool.
Yeah. 12 points, though, on the jam. Only the second 2-digit jam for Seattle in this game.
And they send Toe Jammer out to jam against number 62, Tryon. Tryon stumbles through the infield and has to roll back. Toe Jammer looking left and right. But Santa Cruz just swarming exactly where they need to be each time. Now Tryon recovering back and held up as Toe Jammer forced out of bounds again. Little killer. Just enough of a hip nudge to knock you on your butt.
Little killer, get you every time.
Tryon lead jammer and through and forced out and rolls back.
Toe Jammer working now. Star pass.
Oh, man.
Star pass to Annihilator, and Annihilator gets annihilated.
Yes, she got knocked in and almost took out the ref, but not quite.
Just incredibly. And Annihilator. Looks like that.
I think she got a little bit of a ding to the when she landed. I don't know, coming rolling back to the bench and going to sit at the medical tent. And I see an official review signal coming from the Seattle side. Oh, maybe it's a team timeout. Thought I saw an O, but now I see the clock going
I did
team
see
timeout.
the O.
And we see the Santa Cruz coaches out checking in, saying, wait, she couldn't call off the jam. She wasn't the lead jammer. And the referee says, no, I think that was the injury timeout is why she was pointing to her head and like, I'd like to call off the jam.
Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore.
But I need to, yes. So I'm going to highlight her. We'll have to sit for the three jams as the jam called for injury.
Checking out the penalty board. Right now, Filipina Fire with 4 on the Seattle side, and 7-8-9 with 3. Otherwise, everybody with 2 and under. On the Santa Cruz side, Little Killa with 3, Sugar Smacks with 3, and Pain Jane with 3.
Meanwhile, on the scoreboard, Santa Cruz solid lead, 120-39. And in the crowd, people.
There's people.
There are people watching roller derby.
Here's a very good shot of the vendor village. We have a ton of vendors.
We do, and I like
at the Big O.
I like that Rydell brought in the floppy used car lot guy.
Yeah,
to just blow around in the back.
I stood near it earlier, and you know, had a good fortune. Maybe not the good fortune. This sounds terrible, but someone just walked into it, and it was quite funny.
That would be amusing. I was like, did you get smacked in the head by it? Because that would be kind of fun too, but maybe not.
Yeah.
So we got Rival E jamming against number 30 Swervy.
Swervy gets stuck in a bunch of pile of limbs.
That's the best description for that, yes. A pile of limbs.
A pile of limbs.
7-8-9, part of that pile of limbs heads to the penalty box. Rival E through and out lead jammer.
First time Rival E has gotten lead in this game.
And Swervy finally finding room on the outside to get out. Rival E swings through and runs directly into Loose Cannon, I believe.
Yeah, Rival E was coming in a bit hot. Looked like she lost her edges a bit and wasn't really able to hit that pack as effectively as she would have liked to.
Needs to get those right wheels for the with the extreme edging or whatever the line was.
The halos.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
And that takes us to halftime. Holy cow.
Wow,
I didn't realize we were that close.
That was a quick half.
That was a super quick half.
Only 18 jams. So 120-41. What's your analysis of the half, Scott?
I think that Santa Cruz did an excellent job dominating lead jammer and using that to their advantage, getting their points, calling off the jam. And similar penalty, we'll do the penalty count, but Galaxy Girls with a little heavier on the penalty board, it looks, at least just from the eyeballing, number of people with penalties and number of penalties overall. And it shows on the scoreboard, Santa Cruz 120, Galaxy Girls 41. We'll take 9 minutes more and be back with the second half.
Skaters.
For the second half of Santa Cruz Derby Gromshells versus Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls. Scott Chicken.
Silver.
So first half, pretty heavy dominance by Santa Cruz. Gromshells picking up where they left off yesterday with their big win over the Pixies.
For sure.
They had 15 out of 18 jams, 13 lead jams for Santa Cruz, 5 for the Galaxy Girls.
We already have 5 track cut penalties going to Seattle. And when they have a lead twice, they've lost it. So they want to be able to mount an effective defense, have to hold on to those leads, have to convert on them, and get those multi-scoring passes.
Exactly, and we jumped to the Galaxy Girls penalty board. As you can see, Filipina Fire and 7-8-9 with 4, others with 2 and 1. And on the Santa Cruz side, which popped up earlier.
There we go.
So you can come back?
Oh, maybe.
All right, well, we'll see. There we go. Nope. Almost. Anyhow, Santa Cruz has, there we go. That was like, it's going to come from the other side, right? Lil Killa, Sugar Smacks, and Pain Jane with 3, others 2 and 1.
Pain Jane doesn't give a flip.
No.
According to her penalty board.
That's right. Just whatever. I will take it, and I will continue. Galaxy Girls screaming, looking over at the dent tent to the side. Looks like Amilate her is de-gearing after that bump to the head earlier where the jam was called off. So Seattle will have one less blocker to pick from.
Yeah, I mean, that was a gnarly looking hit. Completely legal, but went down rather hard. So trying back on the line up against Iron Rabbit. Iron Rabbit able to get 2 leads, 2 of the 5 in the last half. Let's see if she can continue that streak. She's got the hot lead hand.
Galaxy Girls 1 shy in the pack. 7 Skate 9 starting off in the penalty box. The hit this penalty box. And the Iron Rabbit. Excellent call. Okay. Gets the lead jammer. Continuing the hot lead hand.
The term I just made up, it makes 0 sense.
Let's get that trending. Hashtag hot lead hand. Iron Rabbit calls off the jam. Does get all 4 points. So 120-45 is our score. And the Galaxy Girls sending Bruno Scars back out to jam.
Up against Swervy for Santa Cruz. Starting with 1 off the track. Trying to play some 2 off the track. Trying to play some strategery here.
Yeah, some little strategery rolling back. I saw in a game, I think that they played in L.A., the Galaxy Girls did that, but they didn't get back on the track in time.
Oh.
And that did not work so well.
That's a risk there. If you have
Yes,
something
it
like
is.
that.
Swervy is lead. As Bruno Scars also pushing through. No cut track this time. Had a couple in the first half, but cleanly exiting the pack. And Swervy dips around, calls off the jam.
Able to pick up 3 on that pass.
123-45.
So Chris Walken, who's our announcer extraordinaire runner, handed me a fun fact. A Grom or Grammy is a young participant in extreme sports. Originally, a grommet was a surfer under the age of 16. In recent years, this has expanded to include other extreme sports, most notably skateboarding, snowboarding, and of course, roller derby.
Yes.
Thanks.
Got the Santa Cruz Derby Groms overall and the Gromettes. And now out and lead jammer. Your Gromette at the moment is BZ. Rival E also out and given chase. As BZ bumps into the pack, calls it off, picks up 2 points. 125 now to 45.
Hey, if you have pictures of your pets enjoying the Big O from home, hit us up. Hashtag Big O Cats and Big O Dogs. We love to see our furry fans.
And a shout out to Heather Murphy, who's probably watching this game back in Seattle, who posted a picture of her cat wearing a rabbit hat.
Ooh.
It was a cat rabbit. Hashtag Big O Pet.
I love it.
It was excellent. Speaking of rabbits, the Iron Rabbit jamming for the Galaxy Girls, but try and lead jammer for the Groms.
Rabbit almost getting out, now getting knocked to the outside by Mini Mayhem.
Tryon looking on the inside edge, and the line closed by her own blocker for a moment. And that lets the Galaxy Girls regroup. Anita Getcha teaming up with Afro Jamurai, and Afro working towards the back of the pack.
Tryon gets recycled around to turn 1. Oh, and Mini Mayhem, last line of defense. Rabbit gets through, though. Tryon calls it off, gets all 4 on that pass.
Well, that was the classic knocked out. You're still on the initial pass. I'll just keep rolling. Doesn't matter. Time ticking down. Santa Cruz in the lead. Time on their side.
Seattle, although they haven't gotten many leads in this half, able to stem the scoring from Santa Cruz. They haven't been able to get more than 1 pass.
Not so far, and we will see if Swervy can change that for them up against Naylor Swift for Seattle. And Swervy fast around the outside. Very quick lead jammer. Naylor Swift held up in the pack, looking on the outside. Now bumps to the middle. As
Swervy gets knocked out to the outside there by 333. That's Alexis of Evil.
And Naylor Swift out of the pack and rolling forward. Swervy calls off the jam. 3 points. So another 3-0. 2-4-3. The last this half, as you say, no multi-passes for either team.
Much quicker jam so far in this half. 5 minutes now, already on to jam 6.
And BZ back out to jam for Santa Cruz. Toe Jammer with the star for the Galaxy Girls.
Big hit there from Toe Jammer on Mini Mayhem.
Toe Jammer bumped out and rolled back, all reaching for the hat, I think, to confirm that the helmet cover was still on. Rather than, I'm like, you're not trying to take that off now because your lead hasn't been announced yet.
Very important.
BZ pushing towards the front, illegal contact penalty, and now BZ is lead jammer as Deathina has to let go. Moving back to try to apply some offense, and Toe Jammer finally clears as BZ back in on the scoring pass.
BZ
cuts the track.
Oh, jeez.
Saw the shoulder from Deathina, and I couldn't tell if she was down or not, but the referees say no, not down. Therefore, no lead jammer and a 2-minute jam for Toe Jammer as everyone piling up in the corner.
BZ tried to play it cool, went down on 1D, said, I'm not out. But I think they saw what you were doing there.
Think so. Toe now star off, looking for the pivot. Deathina gets the star to her, and Deathina, room on the inside, breaks free. 2 points up that Toe Jammer had picked up prior to the pass. Deathina now entering on the scoring run. 3 Groms in the way, and 152 mocking jam there with the hip to say, I think it's time to move out of bounds.
BZ back into the action. Dueling at the front with 2 Seattle blockers.
That's A. Rashid and Afro Jamurai at the front, and Nita Getchup with the bridge.
Oh, and BZ, a high block, knocks Afro Jamurai in the face. Did not like that.
No.
So she's being sent back to the box.
The downside of the tall jammer, short blocker combination is sometimes you hit it, you land it a little higher than you intended.
I'm well familiar with that, Scott.
So a 5-4 jam. Santa Cruz picking up the 4. 136-50. An official review.
So I imagine that is this coming from Santa Cruz? Let's look at the pointing. Yes, it is. I'm imagining they did not think that was a high block, or maybe thought that Afro Jamurai had initiated. While they sort that out, visit derbywarehouse.com for all your roller derby needs with free shipping and free returns. derbywarehouse.com.
Checking back on the penalty board for the Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls. Filipina Fire now sitting with 5, 7 Skate 9 at 4. And on the Santa Cruz side, they're up to 2, 4, 5 skaters with 3 penalties now. BZ, Mocking Jam, Lil Killa, Sugar Smacks, and Pain Jane. But nobody beyond 3. So relatively clean game on the Santa Cruz side. We're counting 23 penalties for the Galaxy Girls. 5, 10, about 16 maybe for the Groms, somewhere in there.
Really?
I don't know.
Not terrible.
No, not ridiculous at all. I think not at this tournament. One recently, I saw a team that ended the first half with 39. I was astounded.
God.
It was just a rotating path in and out of the penalty box. The hit this box here has been getting some work, but not to that level.
You don't get free gear if you go to do the hit this box. If you did,
no, that would be too much of an incentive to go get a penalty.
Yeah, I'd be cutting all over the track.
All right, let's see if we have. Do we have the our center microphone? Kurt's so good, gonna give us the word.
Upon review, the black team was looking for the high block to be removed from the black jammer. Upon review, we have multiple eyes that saw the shoulder make contact with the blocker's head as the jammer is standing up. The high block call will stand. Black loses their official review.
All right. Good work, Kate Silver, picking what that official review is going to be about.
Hey, guesswork is what I do.
It's the joy of the announcer game. I just say whatever I want. Maybe I'll be right.
Wild speculation.
Thank you, Kurt So Good. And our other officials for this game, which we'll read after this jam, is number 800 Toe Jammer Bruno Scars, rather. I was looking at the 700 from the last jam.
And Seattle trying to do a little conga line. Bruno Scars getting a little ambitious there. Gets sent to the box for a track cut. So lead still open.
Yep, BZ released.
Has been released. Could hypothetically still get lead jammer on this.
Could.
We'll
see. That is, so got a minute and 22 to get it. And there you go.
Nice.
A run and a hop. That was a beautiful little leg maneuver. Lateral leap down the line.
BZ coming in backwards, avoids one hit, swims through the rest, gets 4 more points for the Gromshells.
Bruno Scars also released on the shortened penalty as BZ had been standing when Bruno got to the box.
BZ re-enters. Some contact there that looks like it's assessed a low block against the Seattle blocker, but fully legal.
Yep, that was Bantam Phantom. I think might have been out of play. We will see. However, either way, BZ clean and 4 points up.
BZ working now on a third scoring pass.
And out of play sends Norberg to the penalty box. BZ through with, as you mentioned, 4 for 12.
BZ re-entering, 1 to beat in the front, number 19. That's Loose Cannon. Gets to 16 points on the jam for BZ and the Gromshells. Largest jam so far in the half. First multi-scoring, multi-pass scoring jam for anybody in this half.
All right, let's run through our officials for this game, skating and non-skating. We've got Kurt So Good, our head ref, Whack Job, Duke Skellington, Jens Hotger, Ren Stoic, Nacho, and Graffy. Also Reverend Riot, Hoffenroll, Guacamole, Neutron Scar, Danger Muffin, Justice Deliver, Judge In Fury, Sawed Off, Demolishur, Rhodes Warrior, and Tenacious D Cup.
Rival E skating for Seattle up against trying for the Gromshells.
Seattle defense starting off with just 2 blockers, I believe, on the track. And Rival E ducks under the hips of number 00, Mini Mayhem, to grab lead jammer.
First lead jam for Seattle since jam 1 in this half.
That was a nice little, able to get super low and evade that hip check. Trying. Held up at the front. Groms pushing, and Mini Mayhem with the shoulder out. Rival E calls off the jam. Did collect 3 points.
That's an interesting call up there from Seattle. I don't know why they didn't run that a bit longer. It looks like Tryon hadn't got past her initial, so maybe they wanted a fresh pair of legs out there.
Could be.
Wild speculation, Scott.
That's what we do best here in the announcer booth. If you'd like to wildly speculate, please apply to be an announcer. It's the best job in roller derby. Number 30, Swervy, sprinting up the outside to grab lead. The Iron Rabbit jamming for the Galaxy Girls is also clear, but Swervy swerving through, collides at the front. I see low block signaled somewhere, but I do see the jam called off and 3 points up. So we'll wait and see who gets the penalty for that.
1 point going up for the Galaxy girls. That little jump at the end, Rabbit's able to get.
Oh, and the Iron Rabbit sitting in the penalty box now, though. Let's see, what was that call?
I'm going to guess it was
21?
a misconduct because she was in the air at the end of that jam.
Could be. Hasn't shown up. Oh, there you go. See, illegal contact.
Okay.
So Rabbit will start off in the box. Power start for BZ and lead jammer as well.
Santa Cruz setting up a bit of a half formation, flat formation. One to be in the front. Gets past all four.
Toe jammer with the long run ahead. There's the penalty. I'm like, we were making contact well ahead of that pack, and that's going to get called. A forearm penalty was the call on that move. He had the arms out and too much contact. Meanwhile, Iron Rabbit out of the penalty box and back engaged. BZ forced out of bounds as the Iron Rabbit is through to complete the initial. BZ calls off the jam.
Picking up 4 more on it. Timeout going to called by the Galaxy girls.
And we sit 163 to 54.
If you like this tournament, and I envision you do since you bought the Watch Pass,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to love the WFTDA tournaments. They provide everyone who loves roller derby an opportunity to witness the most anticipated matchups this year. Get all the info at WFTDA.com/tournaments.
Yeah, tournaments. I can't believe it's already May. Tournaments are just like 2 months away or so,
I know,
right?
just around the corner.
All right, maybe 3 technically.
I mean, it's I don't know.
It's close enough.
Just means we're going to be traveling a lot.
Exactly.
It's already tournament season and post season play. A lot of these skaters in the GRDA do age up, move into WFTDA teams, charter teams.
That is true. And actually coming up on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock is a Juniors Expo, which I believe is involving skaters who are about to age out. A little 20-minute scrimmage so you can get a look at some of the skaters you, if you skate for an adult team, might be facing next season.
All the usual
Lucky
caveats about the future of Derby and such, all
Yes.
those platitudes, 100% true platitudes. I'm just as terrified as the rest of you are.
Tryon, not terrified. Tryon is lead jammer. And Naylor Swift jamming for the Galaxy girls. Well through. Tryon, a little Lutz, or I'm not sure. I gotta learn my figure skating jumps because that was
like
beautifully executed.
Single salto or
Something.
I don't know. Something.
It was 4 points of a lovely jump and a land backwards.
The shame in roller derby is you don't get style points.
So true.
I mean, you get mad props, but they don't give you more points if you do a backwards apex jump to score them.
Right. Props don't win the game.
Unfortunately.
Swervy jamming against Bruno Scars. And Swervy bumped out. Afro Jammer trying to run back, but blocked by her jammer. Swervy again, rolling forward and his lead.
Taking a few falls, getting some resistance there. 90 now. Oh, Mini Mayhem colliding. Probably going to get a low block for that trouble.
The illegal contact penalty called. And Swervy calls off the jam, keeping Bruno Scars from points. So stingy, these Gromshells.
Want to gain as much distance as they can between Galaxy girls themselves.
Yes, definitely true. The JRDA ranking system similar to WFTDA, where point spread matters. And as these two teams in the top 5 together, so strength factors applying. And
Seattle at a 4-3 pack advantage. BZ getting out first, lead jammer for the Gromshells.
Iron Rabbit jamming for the Galaxy girls, forced to the infield and skates back behind the pack, and then gets the pleasure of going through the Gromshells pack again.
How lovely. Not really.
Not so much. Filipina Fire shouldering number 80 Sunkissed out, trying to break Rabbit free, and there's the illegal contact, a little killer, and the Iron Rabbit didn't quite slide all the way off of the sport court, but pretty close.
Pretty close. A little killer. That's her fourth penalty there.
Mm-hmm. So 4 more points up for Santa Cruz, takes them to 174. Galaxy Girls held at 54, and we've got 14 minutes to go in the game.
RollerCon. RollerCon is the roller derby family reunion every summer. 11 and a half tracks. Always find that half track stat interesting. Indoor skate park. Hundreds of coaches, hundreds of games, social events, vendors, seminars, clinics, activities, so much more. See you there.
Tryon says see you there to the pack and just bursts right through the middle. Rival E jamming for the Galaxy Girls, but tied up now, trying to stretch things out. And feet stay in bounds. A forearm called to send Mini Mayhem to the penalty box.
Tryon working in the back to pack, finds some room on the outside, puts up 4 more.
And Rival E able to collect 4 as well. First points for Seattle in the last 5 jams.
A little late call off there for Tryon. Interestingly enough, only 2 multi-scoring jams, multi-pass scoring jams for Santa Cruz in this half, and only 2 for Seattle. So Santa Cruz playing this effective hit it and quit it game overall, not making a lot of mistakes like the one that we saw there.
7-1-3 Naylor Swift jamming for the Galaxy Girls, number 30 Swervy. And Swervy is lead jammer, but Naylor Swift able to sneak through the inside and get in front. And that forces the call off. Speaking of your future of Derby being now, Naylor Swift, I believe in 8th grade maybe? She's got a while as a junior, either way.
She's going to train up. Shaking your boots, rest of Derby world.
All right, Toe Jammer back out with the star for Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls, and BZ with the star for Santa Cruz Gromshells. Oh, Toe Jammer hipped down by number 90 Yeety, your captain for the game, and BZ takes advantage.
Toe Jammer getting
the hit, getting the knockout on BZ, and then swinging through the pack. She hit the shoulder. BZ went out, foot went out, rolled ahead, didn't see it.
It's a lovely thing. You can draw that jammer on jammer cut. Just brings a tear to my eye.
That is BZ's 4th penalty for the game. On the Galaxy Girl side, Filipina Fire now sitting on 6. As Toe Jammer on a scoring pass in this minute 8 to go in our 2-minute jam.
Star hat has fallen off somebody's head. I believe that's the pivot for Santa Cruz.
Yes, and
Mini Mayhem.
Mini Mayhem's like, oh, I should probably grab that again.
I should do that.
Let's just get that back.
Toe Jammer taking the star off herself. This one's going to go for 2 minutes since BZ had lead, but Toe Jammer just continually recycled there by loose cannon.
Yes, trying to reach
others.
Deathina, finally able to get across the middle, and Deathina sprinting out of the front of the pack. Star not on, but Toe got 3 prior to the pass.
Second star pass we've seen to Deathina today.
Yeah, and the second from Toe Jammer, I think.
Indeed. Not finding much more luck getting drugged back by Mini Mayhem and Yeety. This brace wall formation from Santa Cruz just, great awareness there by Deathina. Gets knocked out, only one hand down, so she's able to pop back up and not get that cut drawn on her.
So 2 more points for Deathina. And a total of 6 up for BZ. Takes us to 184 to 65 and 9:30 to go in the game.
Got Tryon back on the line up against Bruno Scars.
Bruno almost. I'm like looking for the inside. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. There's a little Kille in the way. That's not going to end well. And trying out the outside. Lead jammer, Santa Cruz Gromshells.
Bruno Scars almost taking their hat off, deciding to keep it on. No, in a track cut. Assessed to Bruno Scars.
Stepping on the inside. Just enough to skate out, and that's all it takes.
Seemed too good to be true right there.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Tryon knocked out and rolled way back and just decides, I'll just call it off and we'll take the power start. What the heck? So 188 to 65, 8:30 to go in the game. Power start for the Gromshells.
Gromshells not feeling anybody yet. Guessing they're trying to burn some time.
Yep, I think I see I'm a coach out and I'm a hot mess out to call off the timeout or call out the time off. One of the two. Call the timeout. That's the word I'm looking for.
Do a time thing. Bend time to her will. One of those.
One of those timeout things. Well, what's coming up next on this track, you ask? I will tell you. Next up is another junior bout, the Los Anarchists versus the Pixies. I'm sorry, that's track 2. I should look at the right track over here. We're over here. I'm like, wait, isn't that game going on right now? Yes, it is. Bridgetown versus Vancouver. That's it. The battle of Southwest Washington versus Northwest Oregon. As the Bridgetown Vancouver game, you will get to listen to the lovely tones of Biggie Talls and Julia Sleazer for that game, if you stick here on track 1. Meanwhile, as I inadvertently mentioned, on track 2 right now you've got Los Anarchists versus the Pixies, and track 3 coming up at 6 p.m. will be V-Town versus Wasatch.
All right.
3 tracks, no waiting at the Big O.
Do you want Derby? We got so much of it.
So very much. And right now we've got BZ getting set to jam for Santa Cruz. As Bruno Scars still sitting in the hit this penalty box. Nobody starting at the Eugene Weekly Jam line as the pack was forward and BZ was back, and BZ is lead jammer.
BZ calls for a little rush in the front, unsettles the Seattle defense enough so she can get through on the outside. Not this pass, though. Getting drugged back there by 29 on the Galaxy Girls. Anita Getcha. Meanwhile, Bruno Scars back in the action. Star off.
It was an attempt to pass to, I think, Deathina, but Deathina now providing some offense, and Bruno pushing towards the front. Finally breaks clear, puts the cover back on the helmet. BZ tied up. Here's the cry from the bench. Calls off the jam, but Bruno Scars able to get 3.
Ooh.
It's a little delay as BZ's checking with the bench. Like, should I call it now? Am I calling it now? And finally did. So 191 to 68. Santa Cruz, 7 minutes to go in the game.
Micro pack here for Santa Cruz. 2 starting in the box. 4 for the Galaxy Girls. And Swervy playing some jammer defense. Rejoins the brace 2-all.
We'll see who gets, I'm like, which baby gets eaten as they're both sort of coming back.
Drags Rival E back. Smart strategy to burn a little clock.
Nicely done.
Rival E just finds the smallest of pockets to duck under. Grab lead jammer. That's the first lead jammer we've seen since Jam 8 for the Galaxy Girls.
Yeah, and that was Rival E lead in that one as well. 4 points up this time. It was good that the pack didn't start running on that last. I was at a tournament with Seattle down in Los Angeles that the Los Anarchists hosted the other week. And there was a run back, and it just was 2 minutes of just racing. That was all they did the whole time.
The worst.
Crazy. Rival E picks up 4 more, 8 total, 191.76.
Biggest jam of the half for the Galaxy girls, and they're excited about that.
Gotta focus on, when you're getting beat, focus on what's working.
Small
And
victories.
that jam definitely worked.
That worked. Quick, getting through, quick call-offs.
So now we've got Santa Cruz sending out Tryon, and Naylor Swift forced quickly to the infield as Santa Cruz says, oh, we'll just, you think you're going to run on the inside? No.
No, absolutely
not so much.
Not. Yeedy dragging back. And illegal contact penalty now to, that is to Tryon.
Yes. Not sure what the contact point was. I'm like, it could have been a back block. Maybe she was in the air. Who knows? But lead jammer to Naylor Swift. And Naylor signaling, here's where I'd like the offense to go.
Thank you. Do the offense. I appreciate it.
Tries the inside, but Santa Cruz, again, able to just absorb the hits. And Naylor Swift finally clear, 4 points up. It's a little late push from the Galaxy girls, and Naylor again signaling with a wave as he bumps into the pack now. Galaxy girls defense awaiting the return of Tryon.
Naylor Swift being stuffed there by Mini Mayhem. Meanwhile, Tryon back into the action, pushing at the front of the pack, beating the Galaxy girls pivot. Naylor Swift calling it off, gets 3 more points on the pass, bringing a total up to 7. None for Santa Cruz.
And Seattle keeping Santa Cruz scoreless for the last 2 straight jams.
I want to finish this one strong.
Indeed. The Iron Rabbit now with the star for Seattle, and BZ jamming for Santa Cruz.
Box is clear. 5-on-5 derby action. 3.5 minutes left of gameplay in this game.
7 skate 9 trying to provide some offense. BZ going it alone at the front of the pack and is lead jammer as the pack stretches out.
Iron Rabbit tries a little offense from a post up by M. Norberg. Santa Cruz, though, knocking her to the out, dragging her all the way back to the start.
And now Rabbit back on the screen at the pivot line as BZ pushing forward. Toe jammer to beat at the front. Out of play called, and 4 points up for BZ and the Gromshells.
Iron Rabbit stuck on turn 1, takes the star off, passes it to the pivot, M. Norberg.
And Norberg now also trapped in and forced out of bounds and rolled back by Bonnie and Collide, who then takes a shoulder from her own skater. I think that was BZ that rolled past and knocked Bonnie and Collide to the infield.
It's like, I need this spot. Give it to me.
Push, push, push. And Toe Jammer finally has to let go at the front as Norberg rolled out again. The Gromshells doing a great job of stretching the pack out and bridging, and then being able to really quickly regroup when the jammer comes back into play.
Absolutely good reformation. Now looks like M. Norberg working on, comes around for a scoring pass, but BZ calls it off. 3 more points going to Santa Cruz. 15 on the jam. Missed a few passes there.
And Coach Bott's out to chat with the referees. No official reviewing being called at this point, just having a chat. 5-second call is given, and we've got number 30, Swervy, squaring off with Bruno Scars.
Swervy, great footwork there on the outside. Doing a bit of a hot assist down. Swervy just screams Mini Mayhem. Get out of the way. Mini Mayhem is all smiles about it, though. You know, my body's ready, whatever. Use me
Just bounce off, whatever. He may have all smiles on the way back to the bench, too. That was hilarious. Bruno Scar's able to catch up and force the call off, so 0-0, and we're down to the last minute of gameplay. 2:06, Santa Cruz 83, Seattle.
Santa Cruz starting as they ended, fielding, trying, doing some stellar work today, going up against a rival E.
Yes, it could be the last jam of the game, and it's line up the same as the first jam of the game, at least from a jammer perspective. Trying, pushing to the front. Gets around Toe Jammer and lead jammer. So Santa Cruz in control of time and space. As Rival E, one hand down out, and now going to the penalty box called on the low block call. So trying, as the time ticking down, period clock at 9 and counting. Trying on one leg backwards. Afro Jammerai awaits at the end. That's always a nice reward. And Tryon calls off the jam. No further run-up of the score. Just take the 4 and call it a game. Santa Cruz, again, showing the same dominance they did yesterday. Picking up the win, 210-83. I got to say, from when I saw the teams that were coming to the Big O, I was really hoping for a Santa Cruz-Los Anarchist matchup.
That would have been
but
fun.
They seem to have avoided each other.
That would have been good to see.
That would have been a good game, and I'm sure it will happen at some point during JRDA Championships in July.
Great game from both of these teams.
And astoundingly, nobody fouled out. Galaxy Girls with 2 skaters, 7 Skate 9 and Filipino Fire each with 6. And for the Gromshells, you had Mini Mayhem, Sugar Smacks with 5. So, for as many penalties as there were, reasonably clean. I'm amazed no one fouled out.
Yeah. Just skating on that edge, knowing how to make those adjustments.
They were using that Halo Wheels extreme edging on the penalty board.
Hey.
All right. Coming up next here on track 1, Bridgetown versus Vancouver. For Kate Silver, I am Scott Chicken. Kate, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Likewise, Scott.
You'll hear from somebody else coming up in a minute.